How's it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and today we have some information for this weekend and why it's one of the best weekends that you can actually jump on and play World of Tanks Modern Armor, at least for the foreseeable, and that is down to essentially this brand new first win bonus that you get for this weekend. It is the Memorial Day weekend 2025 for World of Tanks console, and so essentially you are getting a 3x vehicle XP bonus on every single win each day with every tank you play. So how can you take advantage of this as a player, someone that is wanting to grind? Maybe you play completely for free, or you're an absolute whale. Doesn't matter, it's available to everyone, whether you have just started playing World of Tanks console or you're a long-term player. So that is always good, and essentially the best way to take advantage of this is to line up all of your different tech tree vehicles that you are grinding, whether you play Cold War, whether you play World War II, whichever mode you decide personally to play, you can take advantage of this. Even if you want to swap between the different modes every day, so for essentially 3 days, which starts actually today as of the recording of this video. So when this goes live, you can take advantage of this. So essentially you can get 3x XP for 3 days, and that is going to give you the chance of getting, like, essentially for playing 3 games, you get 9 games worth of XP. And it's only usable on the first win. The great thing about the first win is that you typically get more XP when you actually do play and win the game. Obviously, because you've won the game, you get more XP. There's a bonus associated with winning a game. And so playing your tech tree tanks, playing them all different ones every single day to grind as fast as possible. So, you know, you can constantly have a ×3 XP boost on for free without having to buy the boosters. And so, yeah, you're just going to have ×3 constantly. And even if you are wanting to take advantage of the fact that maybe you've already got all of the tech tree tanks, you can use the free XP conversion bonuses. But once again, this is a paid feature and another way that Wargaming are monetizing this. So through June 2nd, so this is much longer, you will have free XP conversion bonus. So instead of getting 1 gold getting you 25 XP, you actually get 1 gold is giving you 40 free XP. I think it's 25 as standard. Either way, I don't convert XP unless I got excess gold from getting lucky in a war chest on a premium that I've already got. But either way, essentially you're getting an extra amount of XP for every time you convert vehicle XP, which is useful on premium vehicles because you can't use that XP ever. So yeah, if you want to skip some tech trees, now is a good time to buy vehicle XP. But at the same time, I wouldn't recommend doing it because it's mega expensive. And you'd just be better off grinding the game. That's what the game is there for. You know, you play it, you enjoy it, you take it for what it is. The process is what's fun, not just skipping to the end. I don't find that to be that fun. You know, playing through the bad tanks will actually teach you a lot more, and you'll get better by playing through some of the bad tanks. Even if it is annoying at the time, it will teach you a lot more than these people who just basically pay to essentially get all the way through. That being said, if you want to grind, like, play through some of the terrible packages, you want to pay Visa grind, as I like to say, then you can do that if you want to. It's a good time to purchase free XP. Wargaming have also dropped the Wargaming Gamescom 2025 news article on their website, which is that World of Tanks will be, or Wargaming themselves will be returning to Gamescom in 2025, bringing the world-renowned World of Tanks and World of Warship franchises, and recently announced Steel Hunters to Europe's premier gaming stage. This year promises to be truly special, with a dedicated B2C Wargaming Day under the Play Big headline. So business to consumer Wargaming Day, packed with immersive action, community-first experiences, and high-energy live performance by the legendary metal band Sabaton. So they'll also be attending Gamescom this year. The event will take place on August 21st, 2025, within a massive 5.4 thousand square meter area at the Gamescom Event Hall 1. So yeah, you can get Gamescom tickets if you are really invested into wargaming and their product, and you really enjoy the game for what it is and the direction that the game has been going. You can go ahead and support that. I will not be going to Gamescom this year to see wargaming. Yeah, I will not be going. Make of that what you will. Play big with wargaming and Sabaton at Gamescom 2025. And so when we say play big, we mean it. This year's showcase is all about celebrating with our players. Expect live performances from top tier rock musicians, Sabaton, electrifying appearances by special guests, and epic stage moments. You can probably see if you go, I expect some of the top content creators for World of Tanks PC will be going. Things like Skill, Quickie Baby, these sorts of people typically go to Gamescom because they get taken there, and yeah, maybe they will go. I don't know, it's not been announced, I'm just speculating at this point, but I would assume that there'll be some people going there. Maybe you know, some of the top people. Wargaming will also be doing some speeches on the game and that sort of stuff. That's usually what happens, like the community managers and that sort of stuff. Stay tuned for further announcements, including a special community gathering on August 22nd 2025, so day after. There will be essentially a community gathering, I assume, for World of Tanks Modern Armour. Get ready to play big with wargaming at Gamescom 2025. Follow on social media and Discord for updates and a few surprises along the way. What can we, as a player base who play World of Tanks Modern Armour, expect? I would assume there will be some form of in-game thing that translates over to the whole Gamescom 2025, whether that be like a cosmetic or something that you can earn within the game. That's usually what they do with this sort of stuff. Once again, not confirmed. I have no idea. I don't even know, but I would just expect that that is something that they will be bringing in to the actual game. Usually that's what happens. Same with like Tank Fest, for example, when they do go there. Of course, I went last year to Tank Fest. So yeah, either way, it was nice to see some of you actually at Tank Fest. I don't know if I'm going to go this year. It depends on whether I want to spend the money to go. It really does depend. And whether or not any of my family actually want to go. So we will see. But alongside that, obviously, I think it's important that we talk about some of the other things that's been happening this week. So I had a quick look through. Obviously, I've been playing this week. You guys have seen some videos. We've been checking out some of the Valhalla tanks and that sort of stuff. But once again, it is kind of part 2 of the Brawls of Valhalla. So this one is essentially that they brought in like some game mode for Cold War, which is Cold War post-war era 1 only, which is a team size of only 7 versus the 15 that you usually get. So it's 7v7. And the maps are Ensk, Berlin, Himmelsdorf, Ghost Town, Pilsen, Airfield, Svorogorsk, Ruenberg, Nebelberg, Small, and Wide Park. And essentially, yeah, commander boosters are allowed, respawn times are progressive, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, you can test yourself. It is each enemy tank your team destroyed is worth 1 point, and the first team to reach 15 points wins. And I believe that according to that, it would be respawns. So you do have respawns. True Vision's also enabled. Yeah, it's a way of earning honor for the Champions Path Challenge. And so deal 4,000 damage in a winning battle will give you 1 honor. So lots of people are going to be probably playing some of the more broken tanks in order to guarantee that, get themselves some more points. They've also brought out a load of bundles as well this week. And yeah, very expensive as well. So Wargaming, don't know what's been going on recently, but they've been giving us terrible savings discounts, remember, on a lot of the stuff that they're selling. So you can see we're only getting like 25% discounts now, sometimes not even any. Like they're literally just listing up tanks that haven't been available and selling them at full price. Or what seems to be full price. So you can see here, you can pick up a bundle of 3 vehicles for 25% off. Now, previously we'd get like 50% off of some of the tanks, like literally just an individual tank on its own, it would be 50% off. Now you're having to pick up 3 tanks, 1 of them or 2 of them you might not even want. but they're available, and so you have to spend extra money in order to get them, and their discount is even worse. So bundles wise, been getting worse and worse. Monetization on the game, from my standpoint, as me personally playing the game, in my opinion, has been getting worse. Like, you know, literally, I was thinking about it the other day as to what is actually monetized on World of Tanks, and if you actually think about it, like, from what I have seen, what I experience, every single aspect of the game that you could possibly think about is monetized. So, you know, you get XP in the game. You can actually buy XP boosters to get more XP in the game. You can buy premium time to get more XP. You need silver to unlock tanks, and you can purchase silver, or you can buy silver boosters, or you can buy premium time, which gives you more silver. You want to buy a tank that's overpowered, you can do that as well, so you can actually have an impact in the game that is actually positively impacting you if you buy an overpowered premium. You can get XP, so free XP. You can get, you pay for it, essentially. You can get free XP normally, but in order to actually get a decent amount, you have to convert, hence the conversion earlier. 1 gold equals 40 free XP. So you can buy free XP, which allows you to skip packages if you don't like packages or you want to just go through them faster. You can unlock commanders. So not only can you buy a commander that already has 3 perks on it, for example, sometimes you can get them for free through the earn operations, but commanders you can buy in the game. And of course, not only that, you can then purchase extra XP for your commanders through XP boosters, as well in the game. So another way of monetization. And then we think, oh, I want to cosmetically change my vehicle. You can do that. That's actually one of the things I find okay. But it's the fact that, like, even like with everything else monetized, you can also monetize through skins, cosmetics, and stuff like that. You have your garage, which you can be monetized on. So everything that you purchase in there that is like decent quality, like, you know, significantly changes your garage, in my opinion, is also paid, unless it's part of an event or something where they give you some garage gear and that sort of stuff where you can change your garage. If you want to get more space in the garage, I think you have to purchase it. No, I don't know. I can't remember. It was a while ago. I did whatever it was to get the most you could. What else is there? What else could you monetize? Obviously, you can buy tanks. You can buy XP boosters, crew XP boosters, commander XP boosters, free XP boosters. You can, yeah, literally, like, pretty much everything that you could possibly think of. I don't even know how you would monetize the game anymore. Like, genuinely, everything you can do is always monetized, and is monetized from my perspective, from what I can see. I'm not trying to tell you that, you know, you shouldn't play the game, but yeah, it's seemingly getting more and more monetization heavy, which typically happens when a game starts to go into a more sunset phase where, you know, the player base is slowly on that deterioration, and essentially just milking people from essentially, you know, towards the end of a life cycle of game. As the population decreases, the company want to maintain the same amount of profit margins every year, and so what they do is they make everything either more expensive. They start adding in aggressive microtransactions that you can purchase in order to up the value of each individual customer so that they retain the same amount of money made during the year. That is what typically happens, and from my standpoint, it is getting like crazy out of control. It's really annoying, to be honest. Like, even from a standpoint of someone that would have paid money for things in the game, now I have a complete block on it. Like, I will not spend a single dime with Wargaming on any of their platform games, whether that be PC or on console. I'm not spending any money on the game. Not because I don't have money to spend, but just simply because I don't align myself with the vision that they're going down and the things that they've been implementing. I mean, you guys know what I'm like. You've watched many of my videos. If you've got to this point in this video in particular, you probably do watch quite a few of my videos. You know I'm very candid in what I say, in terms of, you know, I will tell you what it actually is. and my own thoughts on the game, and you guys can either agree or disagree. I don't mind, and I am just one player at the end of the day who just so happens to upload videos on the internet. But with regards to like my overall opinion on stuff, like I've become less and less willing to part my money in order to play the game. And remember, I get paid a little bit in order to actually play this game. Not from wargaming. There's some crazy people out there that think I get paid by wargaming. I have no idea what they're actually smoking. But I do get paid from YouTube. Obviously, YouTube ads. Every ad that gets played on a video on anyone's channel, unless it's been a demonetized video or you're releasing copyrighted videos that of other people, you do get the money, and it's only a very small amount. It's like fractions of a penny per person that watch the video. You know, we're talking 0.03 of a penny or something like that, which is like $0.015 or cents even per person that watches the video. It's essentially like, yeah, even with that being said, you know, even if you get 100k views or whatever, you might earn a couple £100, but I wouldn't input any of that back into the game unless I thought it was content for you guys in particular, you know, things that I think would actually be useful for you guys. But in terms of like tanks and stuff like that, I'm not going to be spending money on playing it, especially considering now I am full-time and yeah, I have to pay the rent as well, so any little bit of money always helpful. So yeah, realistically, I'm just trying to open things up, open up a discussion as to what you guys are actually feeling like with regards to the monetization on the game. For me personally, I've just been finding it's getting just very ludicrous, and I'm just sad that the game has got to this point where, you know, we were at a pretty good place with regards to at least having decently priced vehicles. But once again, they've just upped essentially all of the prices of vehicles because they don't do the 50% discounts very often anymore. Like very, very rarely. I mean, I haven't seen them in a while. And then they removed all of the sales of premium tanks. You know, before they all used to be on the premium tanks list, where you could purchase any vehicle you wanted on the premium tech tree, essentially, unless it was a licensed tank. They then removed that feature, so then you had to get it on like the sales tab of the actual store. So they come up every now and again, and certain tanks rotate through, and you can purchase them almost like as if they're trying to get a fear of missing out. Like, oh, I need to get it this time round, otherwise I don't know when it might actually come back on sale. And that's kind of the tactics that typical games companies, I'm not just talking about wargaming, by the way, this is widespread throughout the industry. But the good thing is that things like this do come back and bite people on the backside. Eventually, things like Ubisoft, for example, they produce absolutely terrible content every single time, over and over and over again, and then players stop playing their game, and then they cope and say that, oh, it's you guys just don't understand. It is a good game. It's your guys' fault for not having, you know, the gall to look at the game and understand what our vision was, etc. It's like, no, you just made a terrible game that people don't want to play and your audience don't like. So there you go. Don't try and turn it around and say that it's the audience's fault that your game is terrible. Not to say Wargaming's World of Tanks console is terrible. I don't think it's terrible. But I do think that we've missed out on a lot of very, very good things that could have come to the game over the last few years. And I understand this is me kind of just brain farting at you guys. But I mean, I still enjoy the game. I still make content. If I didn't, I would actually stop. I did stop for multiple months. If not like 6 months, I was kind of just producing every now and again when I actually felt like doing it. But yeah, I'm just disappointed really with how the game's direction is going. I was really expecting some good things to come. But yet again, it just seems like my original thoughts on what was actually going to happen have come true. And my initial predictions as to, you know, when they removed the premiums from the Tech Tree store, the premium Tech Tree store, was that they would then sell these vehicles in a more fear of missing out way, in order where you kind of feel guilty if you don't buy it then and there. and so you're more willing to spend money. Remember, this, I understand it's a company and they do need to make money, but you know, you have games that don't aggressively, you know, farm their player base, and you know, what updates have we actually received that are generally quality of life, and big updates that have provided us with new content, new big things. And yes, you could say new tech tree vehicles every now and again is interesting, but it's not really a content drop. You know, even from a standpoint of like events wise, we have seen some more events, some more interesting events. But in terms of like big content, things that are big additions to the game that are just constant and you can play them, I feel like we've been missing that. And in order to generate new players and bring back old players, you have to realistically try and revolutionize the game. And I think the issue with World of Tanks at the moment, especially console, is that they've been lacking in that area for so long, that they're so far behind any of the modern games that introducing a new player is very difficult, because they just don't want to actually play the game. They might play 5-10 games from when they first download it and they realize, this is a bit boring, this is not a whole lot to it, seems like everything's monetized and I don't want to play this game, and then they leave. And that was a potential customer, it was a potential player that would have had a long-term healthy impact on the game, avoided all of the bots, you know, in the games. We talked about bots in the last video that I uploaded, but I thought I'd add this one in here, just as kind of an overview. And since, you know, they added in all of these sales with no discounts, basically, from what I can see as to the cost of these vehicles. So, you know, 9,300, 400 gold for the Condor, but on their website it says 9,000 gold. I think that this is inclusive of a garage slot, I would assume. So they're charging you for the garage slot. I don't actually know. But on their website, it says that this tank is worth 9,000 gold. But on here, when you look at it, it's worth 9,400 gold. Don't know where that's come from. But hey ho. Yeah, I don't know. Is the WZ, what's that say? 8,500? It's 8,900. So I would assume they're charging you 400 gold for the garage slot. But alas, that's kind of my thoughts on World of Tanks console. Thought I'd just brain fart all over you. Hopefully you haven't, you know, got to go change your clothes or anything like that. But yeah, just a realistic video on what I think about it, and some of the monetization things that have been going on. Obviously we have war chests. They've removed the war chests only to bring them back, but them being now slightly worse in most people's eyes from what I've heard. I mean, I don't purchase war chests, and so yeah, it just seems like essentially they've reduced a lot of the chances when I have a look at the chances of getting premium tanks. So you have to kind of spend more in order for a gamble to a degree at being able to get the tank that you might want. I mean, you can guarantee it if you spend, you know, £1,000 on some of these boxes to guarantee that you are going to get all of the vehicles, because remember, you could get unlucky and you get every single other vehicle in that package before you get the tank that you actually want. And unless that tank is on sale at the same time, you know, that might be the only way of you getting it at that time. So you're kind of forced into buying loot boxes. And once again, yeah, hopefully the EU Commission will actually crack down on these loot boxes and in general premium currencies within games, to realistically showcase what the true value of what you're spending on the game actually is. Because yeah, it kind of adds a layer of obscurity when you start introducing premium currencies, because you're like, oh, it's only 6,000 gold. But, you know, that might be all right when you got 12,000 gold, but you don't realize that that is actually worth like £30 or whatever. So, like, it becomes obscured the true cost of what you're spending. Yes, everyone can go and have a look at what 6,000 gold is worth, but at the same time, like, at the immediate, like, instantaneous thing, you're not really thinking about the actual true cost. That's why they have the premium currencies within games. You know, these companies would not have premium currencies unless there was a benefit for having premium currencies. There is no point if you could just purchase everything for the true value, you know, like £30, it says that is £30. You know, these sorts of things, not a fan of. And there has been like a European Commission or a European convention, and now they've actually trying to crack down on these essentially practices to avoid companies being able to use, these premium currencies within games that you have to spend money on, and then you buy things in the game using that premium currency. So, like the V-Bucks on Fortnite and that sort of stuff in Europe. So it's European only, but I think it will have an effect on World of Tanks, and I'm just hope that they actually do crack down and start fining companies for doing these sorts of things, because at the end of the day, it's kind of got out of hand. And yeah, I hope that we can continue playing this game and that the game does actually get better. But I'm just riding it until eventually it does decline into nothingness or becomes so infuriating to play that I will no longer play it, and we'll probably pivot to playing some other game that hopefully you guys will enjoy as well. So with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thought I'd add in this little section here, just talking about some of the other things associated to the game, because it's been a while since we kind of did a little review of how the game is going. Still enjoy the game, still going to play the game, still going to be uploading videos and gameplay of the game. But yeah, just some of the back end stuff, some of the store page stuff, not looking so good for some of you who want to buy stuff on the game. And I think the value of that stuff is also just not particularly worth it, in my opinion. But that is just my opinion. I'm not stating anything. I'm not trying to tell anyone that you shouldn't buy things or you should buy things, or do whatever you want with your own money. That's just my thoughts, me splashing it out. But we're rambling at this point. I will close up this video. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of the day, and yeah, keep playing some World of Tanks. Have the best games that you possibly can this weekend, and grind out those ×3 free XP or ×3 first win bonuses of the day on your tech tree tanks. It's the best time, genuinely, to play. So thank you, and I'll see you there. Goodbye.